Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to D&D Land of the Lustrous. Tonight we're in episode 12, the final episode of season 1. Of course, season 1 is the only season, which is quite painful and quite sad. But at least there's the manga. No promises, but, we'll maybe see what happens. Okay, yeah. So, episode 11, what happened? We pretty much tamed the monkey dog, the puppy, right? The giant moon, the Lunarian moon puppy. And by we, I mean Sensei, because Sensei was like, oh, what's good? Sit, dog sat, cool, cuddle with it. It goes away and is like, I don't even know what happened to it. But on the topic of what happened to it, this trivia is super crazy to me. And might give some insight, right? So the trivia is that in Buddhism, there's 108 earthly sins. And then in Land of the Lustrous, there were 108 of those Lunarian dogs, right? The little puppies when they split. And then in Japan, on each New Year, people will attend a temple where they ring a bell 108 times to symbolize the cleansing of every one of those sins for the next year. So in a way, it's fun that last episode they announced the Lunarian's presence with a bell. So, let's just push that analogy, right? Let's push it. The 108 Lunarian dogs, let's say they represent the earthly sins, because that's like the Buddhism thing. So in that case, you're telling me that the 108 earthly sins were manifested through like these Lunarians, right? Because they came out of a sunspot, or like the twin, So they're Lunarians. I think that's fair to say, as opposed to like as opposed to Ventri or Qualitas, who were like not Lunarians but were captured. No, I think these are straight up Lunarians, or at least have some sort of connection there. And so these sins show up, and then Sensei is the one that like cleanses them, or at least frees them or redeems them in a way. Like the reunification is what sets the dogs free. And I remember Sensei spat some bars on that. I'll probably want to scroll through and catch those exactly. But that is crazy, especially when you contrast that to Sensei like constantly being surrounded by Lunarians who are like praising him. I mean, what are the Lunarians, like the souls of the damned? And by souls of the damned, I mean like the souls of all of humanity when the weird evolution split happened, and Sensei is somehow an enlightened one that could free them from their state as Lunarians, but doesn't want to, or something. Like there's like a grand narrative going on of like, I don't know, Sensei's choosing favorites between the parts of humanity, where he's dismissing the Lunarian section, the soul. I don't know, like mind, body, soul, trialism. He's friends with the body, which is the gyms, or you know what I mean? Like, there's some crazy stuff going on there. Basically, I mean, we all know there's crazy stuff. But I'm just thinking, like, he's the guy in charge. They want him, but he looks at them so poorly, maybe because of their greed, right? That he doesn't free them, but he has the like opportunity to. That's kind of where I'm at. Make of that what you will. Make of that nothing if you wish. I don't even know. Continuing to hopefully some more stable thoughts. I thought this was really fun as well. I even mentioned during the episode that like when Alexandrite changed color, I was like, oh, I bet the gym actually does that. Turns out it does. If it's sunlight or natural sunlight or artificial light, it'll get different colors. So again, this is the anime for geologists, for rock scientists. At one point I was like, why is Padpara getting introduced? And then people were saying, remember, this is only covering about a third of the manga. The anime season is just an introduction into the manga, etc. True and real. It's just a little bit of odd pacing, mostly for the anime's sake. Because I mean, there's one more episode, so like, what are we gonna do with Padpara, right? Like, I'm just kind of curious what our end spot's gonna be. But hey, I mean, I'm about to watch it, so I won't try to judge too hard. This is some interesting stuff on the Cinnabar situation. I like this idea that Foss puts Cinnabar on a little pedestal in the way that Foss refuses to talk to her with the excuse of not having nothing to say. Yeah, it's like Foss is definitely not wanting to. I want to say afraid of talking to her, and the reason I like the word afraid is because she has that thing of bravery going on where, you know, in realizing that she kind of needs to confront Master Congo, she was like, why is it always bravery, you know? So she has that thing where she's afraid and she's trying to break out of it, but then she's like upset that she has to break through it because it's so difficult and so painful for her. So I feel like Cinnabar is just another example of that, you know? And I thought this was kind of probably pretty true. To be honest, all Cinnabar needs is a company and a little buddy. Just need to stand some feet apart so the Mercury's not a problem. And Cinnabar will stay there with a little ass face frowning. Yeah, like Cinnabar is just alone. She's lonely. She's incredibly lonely. Out in the nighttime or whatever, just doing her thing, and no one spends time with her. And she's kind of like hard to spend time with, but if you just kind of respectfully keep distance but stay around her, I feel like that would help bring her back a little bit at a time, but it's hard to say. This was a really good point as well, that the Lunarians are probably not going to be using Antarct as a weapon unless it's winter, because Antarct is literally like no hardness unless it's winter. So Foss looking for Antarct, like, dude, Antarct's not going to show up unless it's cold. Like, I think that's a pretty reasonable thing. I mean, maybe the Lunarians aren't smart enough to figure that out, but yeah, unlucky, very unlucky. And then also Copium, hoping for the next season. We can dream. I thought this was funny. If I can smoke my hopium for season 2 for 6 years, I can hopium for a manga reading. I respect that. That's good stuff. Padpara, coping. We love coping. This is some really good stuff. I wrote a little bit of comment just basically saying that it's Pog. So this is like the analysis that I was trying to do, and I felt like I was a little bit fumbling last episode. Because for me, these self-destructive themes are very difficult for me to talk about, right? Because it's such a dark and I don't even know how to describe it, man. Even me trying to describe why it's hard for me to talk about, I'm having trouble talking about it, right? But so I really appreciate this, because it's pretty much like putting out what I'm trying to get to, but I'm unable to do, which is like a great feeling. So this is comparing the self-destructive habits and kind of the way that Foss in Land of the Lustrous is doing it to eating disorders, specifically anorexia. Beautiful connection. I'm here for it. Where it's using eating disorders as a form of control. If I can't control these things in my life that are causing me pain, then at least I can control my own body, my weight, my diet. That also applies to self-harm, which was the one that I was more focusing on, where I can't control all of this garbage, but at least I can control whether my body has wounds on it or not, right? And all that stuff. As long as, I think I mentioned it, I went off about it last episode, but a inner pain being brought to the surface, right? Like Foss is a good example. Foss, has all these insecurities and worries that aren't being able to be expressed, especially I'm thinking to the amethysts, where, she feels so bad for freezing when the amethyst got munched. And then she tries to apologize, and then no one kind of lets her apologize, and she's not at all condemned for that. So she feels guilty and has all this inner turmoil. So being broken apart, right, losing her arms, losing her legs, bits of her constantly being broken and flying off, forcing herself to stay awake, those are all ways for her to punish herself and maybe atone, self-flagellate for those sins that she thinks she's committed that nobody's condemning her for, right? As well as the actual pain of these things, right? The pain of staying up, because, she's super insomniac, whatever. She doesn't sleep anymore, right? Which is obviously not healthy. And then she's constantly breaking apart with the gold and all that. So that's also, I think, all that inner turmoil. She's feeling those physical pain sensations as a way to ground that inner pain in her reality. And then you can also spin it, and I really appreciate this, as forms of control and making your body perfect to compensate for insecurity. I totally feel that for Foss as well, because she's always been insecure about her hardness level, especially from the beginning. She just wanted to be strong so that she could help. She felt bad for being weak, all that stuff. Yeah, beauty standard stuff, the goalpost ever shifting, super, super true. Short-term relief despite being destructive, yup, 100%. It's a trap, a highly addictive trap. The trauma and complexes that Foss already has only exacerbates this. Yup, 1,000,000%. And it's extraordinarily sad because it's real. And it's so extraordinarily sad because it's happening to, Foss, like, no, like, people can't tell, or like couldn't tell the beginning. I'm sure they can tell now, but like Foss is so bright and happy, and you can tell that there's that layer that she puts up, like that joking layer. And, you know, people love her for it, right? Like, when she shows back up with her gold arms, they're all, like, meeting her with that energy. But, like, if you actually look beneath the surface, she's suffering that much, right? So just that part specifically where she's, like, putting the front up, that's what really, like, gets me. Yeah. Because, you know, there's people, like, I've met people in my life that have gone through, like, whatever stuff that's, you know, self-destructive behavior, and it's so sad seeing it from them. And so, like, I'm just getting a lot of those feelings again from Foss, which and the reason I bring that up at all is that's, I think, the mark of, like, a really good show, if they're able to bring in those, like, dark, sensitive, let's say, themes without, like, dropping the ball, right? Because it's so, like, it's easy to just be, like, edgy, I hate everyone and blah blah blah, suffering, blah blah blah, right? Like, you can, like, any show can do that, but like for a show to actually spin it in a way that's like respectful of the darker themes and respectful of like people that, you know, would go through these kinds of things, that's when that's like a really good show. And I think Land of the Lustrous does that really well. This is also so funny to me. Watching the discussions at ×2 speed and then the outro. I wonder if I can just pull it up without an ad playing.
I wear
oh no, it's ad funny. I give up. It's just funny to do. It's just funny. I listen to it myself. It's funny. Okay. And then this was some good information as well. Pretty much, I liked this connection, seeing Alexandrite as like Hanji from Attack on Titan. It's Hanji, right? I don't know. I haven't watched Attack on Titan in a long time. But yeah, I like that connection. That's funny. Alexandrite having a hardness of 8.5. I didn't know that. Okay, kind of pogged. This was interesting to me that the oldest gyms seemed to be the hardest. Maybe the idea, like, I'm gonna assume that that's true, right? Because I actually haven't like mapped it out myself. But assuming that's true, it could be kind of like a thing where the stronger gyms are the one that survived this long, right? That the weaker gyms have gotten yoinked because they get fractured easier, so the Lunarians get them easier. Maybe that's why that the older gyms are the harder gyms overall. Who knows? An idea. Foss definitely no longer trusts Congo. This is true and real. Shiro, that's the puppy's name, right? Seems to be a pet Lunarian of Congo and has come to be with his master one last time. And then ending/freeing his soul. Acting like a soul reaper. Yeah. Yeah. So basically pogged. Let me scroll through the episode of it. So episode 11. Oh, this shot specifically of Foss. My poor Fossilossalite. This, oh, you know what? I know why I had this up. Because this is when she says all she wants is the truth. This is crazy. I feel like this is a change in her character. I want to know the truth. What? Foss, listen to me. When she admits to herself that she wants to know the truth, that's when like she starts to crack. And I think okay. Let me make something clear. This is so important because I don't think almost any of the other gyms want this, right? Because Foss, you know, talks to Cinnabar near the end or somewhere in here. I think this right before that scene, and she's like, she lets the forbidden thought of not trusting Sensei like cross her mind, right? Right here, right? Or a little bit before this, right? And so she kind of immediately is like, holy crap, maybe Sensei's doing something weird with Lunarians. Like, that's a big deal. It's right here. And then, of course, she brings this up to Cinnabar. Cinnabar goes, yeah, everyone, that's just, everyone's aware. That specifically means that everybody has this unknown. And other than Cinnabar's kind of let herself as an exception. But everybody has this Sensei who they don't really know anything about or like everything about, but they're choosing not to push the issue as like a compromise, right? They don't want to deal with it, right? But Foss, whether it be from her self-destructiveness or her amount of trauma or like her amount of like, it's almost like a maturity that's born from trauma, right? That she kind of was forced to grow up with all the Antarcticite stuff. It's like all of that has come to the surface and she's not content with just sitting back. You know, like she's had to stand up and be brave so many times that she's one of the few gyms that's actually willing to. And Cinnabar, of course, is kind of also willing to do that. In that she kind of is like, I feel like she says something here. Let me just see if I can get the line. Man, it's so awkward. He's 2 gyms. Yeah. With this right here. So Foss is expressing the doubt. Cinnabar's like, yeah, everyone's aware. The question is what you're going to do about it, right, Foss? Yeah, this right here. No one knows the truth. They've all made that unspoken agreement. But Foss wants to take it into her own hands to a degree, right? This is what I'm looking for. I'm still debating it. So yeah, Cinnabar's kind of an exception from the rest of the gyms in that she's willing, or she hasn't just taken Sensei at his word yet and just decided to not press the issue. And then Foss, of course, when she's kind of confronted with, okay, do I ask Sensei about this or not? She decides that she's going to, right? Despite how painful it is for her. Oh, my poor Foss. The gold bleeding is so good. And then the gold, so good. But then wasn't it Aunt Art that kind of made her change her mind? She had like a, yeah, right here. It was like the quiet thing. I don't trust this guy, man. I don't trust this guy. Okay, is there anything else I'm trying to get into here? So we deal with the dog, 108 earthly. Oh yeah. When he frees the dog right here. What is he saying here? So the dog soul gets evaporated or whatever's going on. And then Foss decides, like, fine, I won't question it because he seems to be having a good time, I guess. No, he just straight up asked a question, then she's just like, dang, I just don't trust this guy. I kind of want to just jump into the episode, I'm thinking. Kind of just want to jump into the episode. I don't have, like, a ton to say. So, yeah, I honestly just... But then if I jump into the episode, that means that I watched the last episode. That's bad RNG. I have the remnants of a Dr. Pepper and a water. Let's start with the water, and if we're getting freaky, we'll switch to the Dr. Pepper. Okay. Lock your seatbelts in. Okay. Shift into drive. Well, first, shift into reverse so we can back up, and then shift into drive, because we're going to jump into the episode. Episode 12, let's get this going in a 3, 2, 1. All right, Para, wake up. Oh, yeah, she's awake, by the way. I didn't even get to that part. She's awake. Good morning. Good morning. So nice to meet you. How long have you been asleep for? Ooh, you got a nice voice. $231 years? Dude, Foss hasn't met you almost at all then. Wow, because Foss is just, 300, so Foss met her when Foss was 70. Oh, Rutile, it's okay. Yeah. Oh, she's so cute. Just like me. Do you mean with the chunk? Aw, you're so sweet. I like you. Are you in my therapy gym? You're gonna be my therapy gym. Yes, I have. Yes. Oh yeah, Foss also wants to be captured by Lunarians. Not captured, but wants to talk to Lunarians. That's a big thing as well. Oh, good night, Rutile. Guess you were sleepy. New work. That's a crazy episode title, actually, considering the very beginning was all about, like, finding work. Dude, Para, I like your style. The one sock down. Yeah, she do be a little troublemaker. Thoughts? Yes! Also, no, because you're probably going to be in pain trying to do that. But the path to enlightenment, yes, Foss. Give up on this puzzle of mine. Whoa, what do you mean by that? The whole, like, sickness thing? Ooh, I like this one. This character is spitting bars. You're coming out of a coma and you're already this clean with it? You just fall asleep? No, come back. I liked you. No, we did not just wake you up for 10 minutes. Ooh, you're not even telling her though. Foss! I'm liking this Foss. I'm liking this Foss attitude. Aw, are they doing the daily Bort sessions? So that everybody gets to learn from Bort? Wait, can we wake Padpara back up? Hey, Rutao, get back on it. What are up with the butterflies? This is the second time they've done the butterflies thing. Kind of reminds me of Mercury's Mercury, or her Mercury. It's like Foss got butterflies instead. Oh, you're adorable. You're an adorable little Jim. Did you learn anything? Bort, say something. No, no, Bort doesn't hate you. Foss, did you just get jump scared? Wow, Foss. Help them. Help them, Foss. Help them. Dude, this character's acting like Foss did in episode like 1 and 2, bro. This character's acting like baby Foss. Like the crawling and complaining. No, it's okay. The inferiority, man. Almost the same age. Oh. No, 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 Foss. Okay. Dude. Diamond convinced Foss to be self-destruct. Well, not convinced, but, you know. It's the chain. Oh, wow. Bort's nose. Okay, good stuff. Dude, it's like... No, Yeah, Pepper went back to sleep. I'll get to that later. Yeah, what is going on? Zircon, that's your name. Yeah, I already had that in my notes. I just forgot. Yeah, Yellow Diamond, you're gonna. What are you carrying? What's all that paperwork for? Aw. Zircon's practicing so hard. That was sweet. Zircon should be safe with Bort. Oh wow, yeah. Yellow Diamond did have that worry. Aww. That's so kind of weird, but kind of super sweet. Airing them. Why do we have to air them out? Okay. Ooh, okay, Foss. So studious. Yes! Geological structures. Oh wow, look at Foss branch to with all the different papers. Yeah, you did lose your memories, homegirl. Aw, baby Foss. Baby Foss. You're so sweet. I miss you. Aw. I know, dude. Foss is adorable. I'm literally one of them. No. No Omega Lol is the answer. Well, it took a while, but she got there. Aw, baby Foss. Whoa, Alex is wearing the sensei robe. Dude, you really think you're sensei, huh? You really think you him. Read all this. Who's lounging back there? Yeah? You just want to play trivia games? Oh! Dude, Foss flipped the script. Yellow Diamond's sleeping back there. Foss built different. You're so studious. Foss could. I believe Foss can. Oh, yeah. Well. You want Crystal back. Yes! Okay, okay, yes. Yes, Foss. Talk to him. Don't, dude, imagine if they just ended the season, bro. I was about to lose my mind. Cinnabar, Cinnabar. Okay, Foss. This is what we're talking about. You don't even have your sword. You don't need your sword. You're just talking to him. Just dodge. Yes, yes. Well, let's be careful. I don't want you to get hurt. Do the diamond tech where you just kill them with your broken limbs. Yeah, don't actually do that. Dude, she's interrogating one in an orb. Holy. Talk to me. Is it gonna be like help or something? Oh, their eyes. For what? Cinnabar, what? Why are you here? Okay, you've never helped me once in the entire show and okay. Finish. Tell me, help me. Let me help you. Help you. Cinnabar, are you being a rat right now? Cinnabar's being a rat, bro. Cinnabar's being a rat. I don't trust Cinnabar. I don't know what are you on about? Oh, I guess. Okay. Cinnabar, you could have melted me. Ah, whatever. Okay, fine. I guess you didn't have any bad faith there. Wow. Is that Foss? You're telling me you just remembered that you were supposed to get Foss new work from episode 1? That's crazy to me. F. Fight. Flee. Fun. I don't know. What starts with an F? I don't know, man. Oh, is that the clipboard? Is that the clipboard from way back? And you just like paid Foss back? Dude, I thought for a second there that Cinnabar was intentionally killing him so that Foss couldn't talk to him, but I don't think that's actually the case. I think Cinnabar was actually just there to help. Just a little miscommunication. Whoa. What? Yeah? You're gonna lasso her? You're gonna lasso her? Yoink, yoink. I found your new work. Yes. What is it? My partner? Tell me about it. Yes. With what? Better? What do you mean? Oh, then her current job. Right, right. Oh, she's blushing. Thanks, Foss. Love you for that. Yes! 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 No, that's a fire job, Cinnabar. Don't even pretend that's the best job she could have said. That's my girl right there. We gotta do it on our own. You and me. You and me, Cinnabar. You and me. I need someone to bounce off of. Yes! We're gonna pop this hoe open. Okay, fair. We're gonna have to answer that together. Yes, Foss! Oh, that dude's... Her negotiation tactics are out of control, bro. I'll come again, walks away, Giga Chad. Yes, Foss! Yes, Foss! It was, dude. It wanted to talk to you. It was. It is. No, if you had more time to talk, I think you could. You can make moves, Foss, I believe. Dude! The clipboard. Oh, you have such beautiful eyes. Aw, timid Cinnabar. Perfect! Thank you. Dude, all I wanted from the beginning was the two of them to team up as a squad, bro. Bro, Yellow Diamond is sleeping on those puppies that they made. Thanks, Red Barrel. Thanks, Red Barrel. Bro, the amethysts are so adorable. Ow, stop doing that. Yes! Hi, Diamond! Puppy, puppy. Too bad it's a fake puppy. You never met the real one. And that doesn't make you mad, Diamond, huh? Dude, I love Zircon. Dude, Zircon's just a baby Foss. But Zircon, you gotta Foss. You gotta take Zircon under your wing and make sure Zircon doesn't become self-destructive like you are, bro. What's up, Jade? That's my girl right there. Oh, good morning, Sensei. You little rat. You little monster. Wait, what's going on? Why aren't you meditating? Bro, this show got me... I'm just too hyped. I'm too hyped from Foss. I'm too hyped from the Foss Cinnabar team up. Why are we looking for Foss? Oh, Foss is just... Dude, Foss is just waiting for them to show up. Don't tell him, y'all. I got this. Whoa. Damn, that was a crazy shot. I'm jealous of my old self for having that luxury. He knows what she's trying to do, I'm sure, right? No, finish your sentence, man. Oh, dude, come on, Sensei, finish the sentence. You're such a rat, Sensei. Ah. I'm gonna have to read the manga because it's not ending, man. It's just so open, bro. It's such an open season. My closure, man. My closure. It's literally just the start, you know? Man, that line, I'm jealous of my old self. Literally true. That's how I feel every day of my life. I just love Foss. I relate to Foss on so many levels, man. I love Foss so much. Man, but like, I love how the anime's adapted this so much. So I'm so sad that there's no anime, you know? Because, like, I love the style of it. Like, I've seen the manga panels, and I like the manga panels, but the anime is so pretty. You know, like, I like it a lot more, right? And I really like Foss's voice actor, and all the voice actors I've enjoyed, you know? It's just rough. It's just rough. If they had news of a season 2, I would wait, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the B-Stars thing? I don't know. Truth, man. The quest for truth. Of reality, of the self, of all of it, man. Post-credit? Or is it just the, did we get a concept art at least? Dang! The last concept art. This is the English cast? Yeah. Or in English, I mean. Dang. I love Foss. I love Foss. This shot right here. Man, Foss is... Look at her. Look at her when she was happy and sweet in My Little Foss. I'm so sad we're never going to see her again. This Foss. Young Foss. Happy Foss. Because this is the Foss that... Oh, man. It really is a story on, like, growing up and seeing the loving, kind-hearted, bright-eyed you from the past just die in front of you as trauma and pain just changes who you are, you know, permanently. That's what it comes down to, man. And it's crazy because Foss is like speaking down to, but also being envious of this young, ignorant self, right? So it's like she has this need to find the truth, but the truth is what destroys you, or something, right? Man, there's a really good quote or something. I feel like I want to say it's Nietzsche. It was like Nietzsche and another guy. It's like man's measure. It's like, I'm just gonna make it up while I'm trying to write it. Man's measure is their capacity for truth, something like that, or it's his capacity for truth, something like that. I kind of feel like I'm just making that line up, but it's basically the idea that like, oh wait, oh I got it. I'm cracked. Nietzsche, Beyond Good and Evil. This is important. The strength of a person's spirit would then be measured by how much truth he could tolerate, or more precisely, to what extent he needs to have it diluted, disguised, sweetened, muted, falsified. Specifically, the part on a person's truth is measured by how much, or a person's spirit is measured by how much truth he could tolerate. He, of course, they could tolerate, right? But that's just the quote. So, like, Foss is... and this is a little different from that, but I think that's applicable to this story a lot, which I really appreciate. Foss is on the quest for truth, and not just being subservient and just blindly trusting Sensei. But it's like Sensei's like her mentor, her like parent figure, right? So it's like her journey of breaking away and seeing the flaw in her mentor, the people she looked up to, the people that allowed her that luxury of being young and bright-eyed and happy. It's her standing up against that for the sake of truth, right? Yeah, and it's been motivated by, you know, her wanting to change and become strong. You know, all those bright-eyed ambitions is what like put her down this path. But now when she's actually confronted with like truth as the goal, she said, okay, like then truth it is. These shots to young Foss just kill me though. She is such an adorable little sweet angel. But it's like, yeah, like it's so, man, because I've looked back at young me and been like, oh, you sweet summer child, like little did you know about this world. Little did you know the pains of this world. Like that like experience of looking down on but also envying a past self, or like children, that kind of childlike mindset, that's such a crazy thing to bring into the show. I mean, it totally works. It's such a cool theme to have, you know. But man, let me talk about Zircon. I was forgetting Zircon's name until they mentioned it. But yeah, Zircon's second youngest is my notes for Zircon. Zircon's really just a Foss, right? Zircon, I even said like they were acting like Foss, you know, crawling around, being all doom doodle doom doodle doom doodle doom. Like, look at her go. It's adorable, right? But the way she's speaking is kind of bright-eyed and sweet in the way that Foss used to speak. And it's like this conversation, like I feel like parallels the conversation between Foss and Diamond from episode like 1, 2, 3 area, right? Especially like Zircon's talking about like feeling inferior or whatever, right? Like largely to Bort and not feeling good enough and all that kind of stuff. Those self-esteem issues, which is what like motivated Foss so much. And when Foss opened up to Diamond about it, Diamond was self-destructed because of her own inferiority with the whole breaking apart to become a weapon thing. And, you know, that kind of, I feel like, were some of the seeds planted that drove Foss to where she's at now. And so now Zircon shows up, and it's like that chain continues where Zircon expresses their own like inferiority and fears and all this, and drops the line like, that's why I've been thinking maybe I should try losing my arms or legs or something too. Like Zircon sees Foss as, you know, successful after being self-destructive, and is like, well, then let me be self-destructive, right? Like it's like that. It's the same thing where Diamond's thing led to Foss, and now Foss's thing is leading to Zircon. And I mean, Foss does say you're definitely psychotic, but then Foss just continues. She doesn't say like, she doesn't like make it real, you know? Because if she wanted, she could have been like, Zircon, don't do that, or whatever, right? She could have been like, Zircon, it's a bad idea, don't do it, you know? She could have said something, but no, she just kind of brushed past it. And I mean, that would have been really hard for Foss to do, so I'm not sweating it. Man, this Padpara character, can they wake back up? This was the coolest cat on campus. I'm so mad there's not another episode. Wakes up for 10 minutes, spits absolute bars, falls back asleep. And this is what this is the line. A pure unbridled truth might leave its own wounds. That's the line that made me think of that Nietzsche quote. Because it's that thing of like, the truth damages you, so the strength of your spirit would then be your capacity to resist the damage of truth without diluting it. And so what'd you say? Like, make sure you're composed, make sure you have your composure. So make sure you keep your composure. Dude, this character's gone through something. This character is the therapy gym. Because this character is saying, you get enough sleep last night, huh? Padpara already knows Foss didn't get any sleep. Padpara sees the bags under Foss's eyes. But Padpara is able to just very casually, in a way that's not like interrogation-y, bring that to the surface and like kind of deal with that idea a little bit. Which I'm so... You've been listening to Sensei? Not really. Padpara's just like, yeah, bet. Like, you can feel that bet energy just radiating after Pad. Dude, Padpara is who I want to be in life. Just so swag. So chill with it. I didn't know you were chill like that. My fault, I wasn't familiar with your game. Okay, so the Lunarians you can definitely talk to. What were you saying? Was it just a gasp? It was nothing necessarily? Dude... But man, it's like Foss. It can't talk if you're choking it out, Foss. I was so mad at Mercury for a second. I really thought Mercury was intentionally coming in to kill them just so that... Or Cinnabar. Sorry, I keep calling you Mercury. I thought Mercury was trying to ice them so that Foss couldn't talk to them. But no, Foss doesn't have a sword. Cinnabar sees that. Cinnabar wants, cares about Foss. Especially because Foss, saved Cinnabar way back. So it's kind of a repaying thing. But man, look at their eyes. They look so alive, man. Yeah, especially because like Cinnabar's using mercury as a weapon, and so the mercury could have damaged Foss. So it felt like maybe he was even being a bit spicy in that way, but nah. Cinnabar's chill with it. I'm not sweating. Okay, so Cinnabar, Foss team up to discover the truth, uncover the truth of Sensei, of the Lunarians, of why Sensei's probably got them all under a hypnotic sleepy mode or whatever, or something. The death of the innocents. I miss Foss so much. All that jazz. I'm here for it. Man, but it's like you're saying you live spoiled. Spoiled is such a word to use. Because it's like she's looking back, she's looking down on her past self, and like in a kind of a condemning way by saying spoiled. But it's really like she's looking back on her childhood, right? And it's like it's really just that thing of what I was saying earlier. Like young Foss didn't know how bad things were. Young Foss was naive. Young Foss had all these things, and as much as innocence was a bliss, like it's like innocence is a bliss kind of thing, right? Because she even says that she's envious of it. I'm jealous of my old self. Like, dude, I would kill you. I would kill you, the individual that is yourself, if it meant that I could go back to being a kid. It's mostly a joke. But it's like being a kid was so fun, man. I was having such a blast as like a freaking like 9-year-old. I was making moves, drinking Capri Suns, eating Twinkies, having just a good time. But then it's like, you grow up and life just comes down on you and just destroys you, and the entire world is on fire and everything's terrible, right? That's me exaggerating, of course, but like that's the process Foss has gone through. But then Foss is deciding like, okay, the world's horrible, the world's painful, and I could take a step back and leave it in the hands of Sensei, right? But Foss got that dog in her and decides not to. Foss got that dog in her, decides not to. Right? Because she could just sit back. And that's what all the gyms have done, except Cinnabar and her. How do you feel about that, Sensei Han? You don't want me to uncover the truth for myself? What? Are you trying to be like the enlightened one that's like, I live in the dude, I don't want to bring up Plato's cave allegory, but like it's like, bro, you are the shadow master and I'm looking at the shadows. And what if I want to go look at the sun, huh? But you're saying, no, don't. The sun's going to blind you. Dog, I'm looking at the sun. You think you can stop me? He could. He could stop me. He could stop Foss. I'm so close to just describing the entire allegory of the cave. Listen. Go read Plato's The Republic. It's a good little read. If you don't want to read all of it, just read the allegory of the cave. It's one of the last passages. It's good stuff. There's my philosophy plug. Yeah. Oh, man. I just want to watch another one, but there's no more. What else am I trying to say? Zircon, my beloved. I love Zircon. Man. The Yellow Diamond parallel. Man, they randomly are just fleshing out Yellow Diamond a lot. In, like, all her relationships. In Zircon, which I really appreciate that these side characters are getting that love. It's like, okay, this is, like, something that I was thinking of. It's like each character... Okay, I think my Spotify started playing. Sorry. Distracted. Lock back in. Each character is like embodying like a thing, it feels like, in a lot of ways, right? And what I mean is like a lot of these gyms have like one specific trauma or whatever that's kind of like very, very fundamental to their character. So like Bort, well, Bort's not a good example. Like, let's say Diamond. Diamond's a really good example, right? Because she's got her inferiority complex with Bort, her whole thing about being a real diamond, like that, right? And that's like such a fundamental part of Diamond's character. And then we have someone like Zircon, who's got her own inferiority that has to do with Yellow Diamond. Yellow Diamond has her worries about like the people close to her dying or whatever. But then Foss comes in, and I feel like is doing an entire another thing with like. It's so hard for me to say. It's like I feel like there's a potential for a grand narrative where the fractured human, right? The fractured what makes up a human, which split into the three parts of flesh, bone, and spirit. The admirabilis, the freaking lustrous gems, and then the lunarians. I feel like there could have been like a grand split of the human into these three categories, and then the gyms that we're talking to are exhibiting like specific emotions or like mental states from the human, right? So Foss is exhibiting all these things of like self-destructive tendencies, you know. A lot of them are dealing with like self-doubt or whatever, but I feel like it's like there's a it's very focused as opposed to just being like they're a human who experiences like a myriad of things. I feel like it's a little bit more specific for each one where they're like manifesting specific human things. Because like Diamond, for example, she has all her inferiority things, but outside of that, she's really just being chilling and having a good time, right? And I feel like that's the case for most of these characters, like Yellow Diamond, right? She's kind of growing apathetic. She has the people close to her keep dying, or getting taken to the moon. But overall, she's kind of chilling, you know? But then Foss comes in, and she gets hit with like 7 of these hoes, and now she's undergoing like the human desire for truth or whatever, right? Like I feel like they're like each examples of different tendencies of the human spirit that directly tie into the story's myth of them being born from the fractured human, what makes up the human, right? Like let's say human instrumentality project, all the humans coalesce into one thing and then get split into the 3 or whatever, or like they get taken into the sea and then split, however the myth goes. And then like certain parts of the human spirit start to manifest, right? Yeah. I don't even know where I'm going with that. I just feel like there's definitely like that's kind of a grand narrative thing going on with these manifestations of specific attributes in specific characters. Yeah. I don't know. It sounds a lot less fundamental when I say it out loud, but I really with like Sensei like suppressing the Lunarians, I think it's important because I think Sensei's suppression of the Lunarians is like suppressing certain parts of the human spirit, right? And now, I mean, literally, he has a meeting with Foss to address, I'm guessing, her kind of new attitude, right? Or I don't know exactly what she's addressing or what he wants to address, but he's like having a meeting with Foss at the end, and he's suppressing the Lunarians and all the things the Lunarian represents and all the things the dog represents, right? He frees that spirit, the 108 earthly sins or whatever, if we want to push that analogy. And now Foss is coming in with her own, brands of traumas. Like, what's he gonna do to her, right? I mean, has he ever like hurt one of the gyms or like captured one of the gyms or whatever? I mean, maybe. If we remember when he one time when he killed a group of Lunarians, like a bunch of like floating gyms appeared in his hand that he like threw or like shot out. Like, what if that's straight up another gym that we don't know their name, and he just has like a bunch of gym ammunition in his pocket, right? Just like the Lunarians do whenever they got their like gym weaponry. So like, yeah, the specific manifestations of like traumas or whatever of which Foss has, I think Congo got problems with certain ones, and he's the one that's the arbiter of what gets to stick around, what gets killed, what gets whatevered. Yeah. Whereas like the true human or whatever would be one that like accepts them all back or something. I don't even know, man. It's just a crazy unique setting, so it's fun to make estimates into like where it's going and like what the point of it all is, right? Especially with Congo because he's such a black hole for information. Yeah, I'm really loving this show though. Really, yeah. This episode did feel a little fast, where we're like, let's get a look at a bunch of different characters at once. You know, it was a lot of bouncing around, but honest, and what that ended up doing is making it feel super open ended at the end. It feels like there's like another episode, like it's just getting started. So that's cruel and unusual punishment. And I'm probably gonna read the manga unless I'll look at okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lightly commit to it now. I'm going to probably look at the studio and see when the studio's like next chance of announcing a project is, like, because I know that I think the studio has been working on B-Stars, right? And so when its next thing of B-Stars gets finished, I'm going to look at how far in the future that is. And if it's, like, pretty close, and that maybe they're going to announce, like, a Land of the Lustrous season 2, like, after it, then I'll wait. But if it's too far in the future, then I'm just going to probably go for it. Yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah, honestly, really good show, though. Foss is definitely... Oh, we got to do a tier list! Oh, my goodness, I forgot. Holy crap, we're going to do a tier list for this show. Yeah, okay. So one more episode of the show for sure where we rank all the characters. I never even advertised that in these episodes because I forgot. Oh, that's going to be so fun. Bet. Okay, well, that is something to look forward to. I'll leave it on that for this episode then, because I do have more time to talk about the show in the tier list. So that'll be fun. Of course, if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, blah, blah, blah. Comment below if you have anything to say, or join the Discord and talk to me or other Land of the Lustrous fans there. Hit the notification bell as well if you want little bing bings on new uploads or new streams or whatever. I got you. But until then, until next episode tier list, that's all I got for now. I'll be seeing you then.